right, welcome to Dragon Magazine, episode number 105. I did that all wrong. We're not Dragon Magazine, we're the Dragon's Tome, looking at Dragon Magazine number 105.
You can't at least get the name right, like the sanctity of this.
Yeah,
Well,
how dare you get it totally wrong?
Bits.
apparently I'm getting them all wrong. I got yelled at for calling
River Moon.
River Moon instead of Gold Moon from Dragon.
You're a bad person, Pat.
I'm a bad person, you know?
I do hope it was you. I assume it was you.
It probably was. Who knows? I do tend to just blend everything together, for lack of a better term. But here we are, January of '86.
Oh yeah,
Rob and Jack are still with me in this new year of Dragon Magazine.
we haven't expired.
No, we're still $3. Not that we're going to be going to $3.50 soon, but it hasn't happened yet.
Make you holla.
So, nice little cover. Who's the cover? I can't see a single
Robin
thing.
Wood. It's I think the
Robin Wood.
first one by Robin Wood. Giant bats versus a flying girl with lightning.
Do you think that she's the Von Helsing?
Oh.
No, I think she's a wizard.
Wizard.
I mean, Von Helsing's can be wizards.
I don't know about that.
Nah, I don't think so.
All right.
Hey, was there different
Think so.
in Ravenloft? Was there different classes, or is it just you were fighters and stuff?
Ugh, I didn't run Ravenloft in our
I
group.
never
so I
played
didn't
Ravenloft.
really-
Yeah.
I never. So, and the way we played Ravenloft in our second edition is that we always entered the realm via some kind of
With your own characters, yeah.
with our own characters. So
Which I believe is the
what I do
same.
know is that there are no dwarves because we had a dwarf cleric, and then everyone kept calling him, saying to our one of the ranger. It was is always referred. All the innkeepers referred to the dwarf as a little kid,
It's like his child.
and so is this your son? Will your son need a high chair? That kind of thing. So it was kind of funny in that sense.
There you go. Never played Ravenloft.
So I don't know if the classes crossed over or not, but I definitely do know that there were no dwarves. So.
Somebody should buy Ravenloft 5th edition and find out.
I did. It just came in the mail today. And Spelljammer's coming on Wednesday.
Toe Jammer.
Stupid Prime Day.
Feed Earl.
Yeah, you can't beat those box sets at half price or whatever they were. So
Yeah. So back to the cover. Large bats, Lightning Girl. Very well done. I mean, it's honestly,
rare that we
it's
get
not-
a cover
it's-
that's not good. Like
it's not knocking my socks off as far as captivating me.
If I saw the magazine, I'd do a double take. It's got that going for it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first opened this PDF again to read it, I looked at the cover. I was like, oh, those bats are really cool looking, and then I moved on.
yeah, but that's how spoiled we are now at this time. Imagine this was like
Yeah.
the second episode. We've been like, oh my god, look at the cover.
Yeah,
But we've had
true.
so many good covers that it's just like, it's fine.
not we're saying that this is not a good cover. Let's just I just want to point that out that I don't think it's not a good cover. It's just it doesn't captivate me in the way some of the other covers did.
Yeah, I agree.
So
There you
all
go.
right. Well, then let's move forward with the show. I'm feeling this might be very quick. I did not find much in this magazine.
No,
It's
I have a
very
few
little,
things,
as
but
a matter
yeah,
of fact.
yeah, not much. It's hopefully Jack, you can pull up your
I'm hoping
bootstraps this
Jack.
time.
Yeah, I hope Jack broke all his rules and did 7 articles.
No, rules are not meant to be broken.
Yeah.
So, all right, well
Everyone's taking
then,
their lane. Everyone
What-
goes along, they get along.
all right, Mr. Lawful.
He didn't say lawful good.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I haven't figured out Jack's core yet. I just know he's rules are rules, very lawful.
Yeah.
Answer.
And if you don't,
So,
you don't follow those rules, you're gonna be put up against
as
a
we-
wall.
As we go through the show, I'm sure Jack's true nature will come out, and then we can assign a good, evil, or neutral to him.
After 105 episodes, you should know Jack's true nature. People out there,
Well,
if
I don't wanna-
comment below what you think Jack's true nature is.
I'm not breaking the fourth wall for that. I want the listeners to figure it out. We now know he's lawful.
That's pretty
I don't
obvious, I
know.
think.
I don't know. Chaotic seems to be the. I'm looking at the polls now.
No,
I
I
can't
don't
see
think so.
chaotic. I don't see chaotic at all.
It's funny. I pretend to be lawful, but I'm actually chaotic, and Jack pretends to be chaotic, but is actually lawful.
Lawful. It's true.
It's so true.
All right, Jack. Since you're on the top on my screen,
You're
Well,
beside
then
each other.
let's just go quick to a real quick one. It's page 5. It's in the letters.
I hope it's not mine.
Letters. We got
It
letters.
says back to the dogs.
No, we knew Jack would talk about dogs because he loves the pups.
Well, this one, it says thanks for Steve Knoll writes in from Palm Bay, Florida, and asks when you talk about there was an article about dogs that we had already covered. There's an entry called food dog listed. He asks, is this the kind of dog used to
Oh
hunt
God! I
rabbits?
just read this letter.
Or is it the kind that would be served on a plate in Oriental Adventures?
Racist.
Oh God!
Um,
1986, I would have laughed my ass off.
I was going to say the same thing.
In
And
2023, I'm laughing on the inside.
on the inside, I did have a good chuckle, but you would never see casually written like that.
But being Filipino, I also make that joke out loud all the time.
You're allowed.
You're allowed to. Steve Null is not. Maybe.
Well, we don't know that either.
It's true.
But certainly this would never see the light of day.
Well, the sad thing is the dogs that he is talking about are actually bred for the, what does he say? Raised for the cooking pot.
Cooking pot.
So it is eating dogs. So crazy. Mohan. But so I never even noticed that in that article that there was dogs raised for the cooking pot. So maybe it's for the best.
Which, again, it did happen. Does happen.
Does happen, yeah.
I know people that unwittingly have eaten dog while traveling. But that kind of tomfoolery and hijinks would not be allowed in print today.
Not said in that way, that's for sure.
That's true.
So yeah, that's my first.
Nice.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
Let's get away from eating dogs, and we're gonna go to page 16. 16. Travel works both ways, and it's really just a neat thing about just random people you'd meet on while watering the roads of a world. Once again, that's the random village, random table. I said village because the very first one's villagers, but yeah, it's just kind of you want to see who you're going to meet on the road while you're traveling. This is this
cool.
list.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's just nice, useful. It breaks it down to different habitats like scrub, forest, plain, road, hills, mountains, marsh. So there you go. See if you just coincidentally met a tailor if you need anything darned. So
Oh, I don't like this. This one says Masons.
Masons.
You meet a cult. What?
At least there's no were animals on this list.
Yeah, or ghouls or demons.
We got bandits. I think that's the worst one that's on here.
But
No,
another tool
I have
to
outlaws and robbers.
another tool to make your world feel lived in, to feel real, to give a little bit of to a little immersion. And
Yeah, a little make it a little less generic.
Yeah,
That's
and
a quick
I like
way
it
to
for
do
that way. It's otherwise it's like worlds feel unlived in unless you do this kind of thing. Because it's people like, oh, this might be part of the adventure. It's like, no, you just randomly met these people, you know. It's
you're
fun.
on the road, and you would meet other people, maybe throngs of other people.
And opportunities for role playing, and opportunities for doing different ways, or even you could even use this to be like, okay, I have another adventure hook. I want to maybe we'll just give some
Oh
information.
yeah,
out,
there you
know?
go. That's the way to get it started. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Is this information I'm getting important, or is it flavor, or is it both?
Yeah.
What's really going on here? Is this just a traveling band of minstrels? Yeah.
I just noticed that masons, diggers, and carpenters. So
Yeah, I just only went as far as Masons. I only brought to light the part that would make the story interesting.
I do like the word quack.
Does that mean crazy person?
I assume so.
Oh, I was
Or a duck.
thinking snake oil salesman,
Mm,
like a medical quack.
yeah, it could be.
Hmm. All right, let's do my little bit, and let's go to page 5.
Letters.
Um,
We're back to letters.
letters.
Yes,
Is
but
it
we're
back
gonna
to
go
the
to the
dogs?
no, we're gonna
Oh,
go to the right of that, and we're gonna talk about for Paul.
oh yes.
I read this, and
Oh,
this is a letter from King Mohan announcing the death of a guy named Paul Corbaugh.
I
And
didn't want to bring this up because we have, as canon for the show,
Said
made
everybody's
lots of
dead.
claims, and I thought we may have
well,
inadvertently, and I was feeling a little remorseful,
I was too, but then I read that he died at a very young age.
Yeah.
which made you not remorseful.
It made me remorseful that he passed away. It was so far ago that the joke carries on.
But it was
Okay.
nice that they did
Yeah, I think good.
acknowledge
And
him.
then for those who don't know, Paul Corbaugh is the guy whose mom wrote the letter correcting his grammar, and we joked about it and things like that. And I thought it was a very nice sentiment for them to include that, knowing that he was such a big avid fan of Dragon, and then they gave him a shout out.
And he did a
And
lot
his
of
mom.
articles too. So.
Yeah, and he did a lot of articles and letters and stuff. So I thought it was a nice little shout out in the Dragon magazine for a big fan of D&D. And not only including his mom in these things, which I thought was really funny. So I say R.I.P. Paul.
He was a legend.
Yeah. R.I.P. 30 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I thought it was a very classy step up.
Thanks for bringing it down, Pat. Huh?
It wasn't a down. It was a shout out, man.
Rob, did you say it was 30 years
It's
ago?
actually 40 years, isn't it? Almost.
This is 2023, so
It's almost 40 years.
yes, we're almost 30 years into this century.
Almost 40 years ago.
Almost 40 years ago. So, all right. So I just wanted to point that out, and then, Jack, back to you.
Oh, okay. Page 22, please.
22.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing, examining the 3 varieties of invisibility. So mechanically in the game, there are spells, items, and other ways of turning yourself invisible. And this kind of gives you a breakdown of those 3 things, how they work. Like the physical invisibility truly does turn you invisible. Light passes through you. You are invisible. There's the psionic mind control, which you basically are telling people, I'm not here, so they just don't see you. And the third and kind of the I don't know, probably the lamest of them, but most common is the illusionary one, where you're putting up something either in front of you, or you're creating distractions to obscure you, so you're not visible. And then it tells you what items do those things, items, spells, whatever. And then it goes into, which is and that's interesting stuff. Kind of codifies some things in case players have questions. But it does go into questions and answers about these things, which again, all of these things would come up. Some of these are like, oh yeah, that's an interesting take. Like, hey, I'm invisible, but my party just watched me turn invisible. Can they see me? No. Obviously, the answer is no, but they get a check to see if they want to see you. There's ones like, oh, well, what if I smell? What if I make noise? All these other things.
What happens if I let a squeaker out?
Well, it is if there's an odor, if you've created an odor, that people get a check. And then it also says, yeah, if dogs invisibility doesn't work on animals that you smell, all these other things. So it was a very interesting article about something that could bring up a lot of questions.
Because if you're really invisible, you wouldn't be able to see. Because you wouldn't be able to see with your eyes. Because that's how eyes
Well,
work.
So the truly invisible. Well, it does say like, what if I pick something up? Do my clothes turn invisible?
Well,
Like there's a whole bunch of other things that
or when you eat, do you see it go down your esophagus and into your stomach?
Esophagus.
they just
like you would in the Invisible Man versions.
Yeah. So, things you don't want to do on a date. Turn invisible and eat things. It's
Yes.
disgusting.
All right.
I saw a cartoon about that recently. That's the only reason it came up.
That's disgusting.
That's gross. All right, Rob, what do you got next?
Back to me already. Where are we? I'm gonna do a Greenwood. I'm gonna go page 32. The well-equipped victim, a treasure type system for 0-level encounters. Which I just wanted to say, it's a, once
I
again,
almost did this one.
it's a bunch of different things you'll find on people you kill and rob, but it's a useful table of what you'll find on poor villager you murdered. That's pretty much I renamed it.
That's how when I looked at this too, I was thinking like, why would you need treasure types for 0-level characters? I mean,
because you murdered a villager. That's what this is.
basically,
And you looted their poor bodies.
If you sacked a village, and then this is what you can find.
And as it is a Greenwood article, it goes a long time, and there's tons and tons of tables. Like there's,
which I like. Some of the charts are cool, some are not so cool.
Well, if you murder a blacksmith, you get tools. That's what I've learned. Yeah, crazy. I was just like, yeah, what do you need this for? What kind of people are playing this game?
The one my favorite is the table D, which is personal belongings.
Yeah,
I've taken your wooden bowl.
Because the connotation is that if this was a part of the adventure, you've come across the body of, a villager, then you're like, oh my gosh,
I'm gonna loot their body.
What happened? they would have in the module, or you would have written down what they have. So contextually, this is, hey, you're at the village. Okay, well, that guy's giving me the skunk eye. No, he's not. Stab, stab, stab. What has he got? Like it has,
and they roll on personal belongings, and you get 98. Yeah. You end up with lice. I don't think it has a personal belonging.
Now your head itches unreasonably.
Disease carrying germs.
I mean, that's really what this is, isn't it? This is just when your party goes off the beaten path and starts killing people.
I don't want family jewels. So there you go. That is my crazy article, because don't murder 0-level characters. That's all I'm saying.
I do love Ed's charts, but all right, let's go to mine. Page 12. Oh, Leonard Lakovka. We haven't seen an article from him in a bit. I don't think so. But this is Tone Down the Demi-Humans in release of Unearthed Arcana. Len gives us advice on how to better incorporate the new races into your campaign. And I read through this, and some of it's good, and some of it's okay. The problem we didn't have as much problem as he is pointing out with integrating these races, is because as a group we just decided not to play most of the Underdark races, like the Drow or the Durgar or the Deep Gnomes or any of that. So it wasn't too hard to integrate all the other races that came with Unearthed Arcana. The irony I find about this article is that almost all these races are playable races nowadays in the newer versions of D&D.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to give thanks to Ari Salvatore for that.
Oh, well, the Drow especially.
Yeah, Drow and the Durgar, because those two pretty much, and I'm calling them Underdark races because that's all these are: the Dark Elves, the Deep Gnomes, and the Durgar, or Grey Dwarves, however you want to call them, are, and the D series and the Underdark campaign system, which I guess is Forgotten Realms still, also play a big part in this.
But definitely, what's his name? The Drow?
Dritz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was he was responsible for everybody wanting to have two weapons, one in
two
each hand,
weapon,
and
two
have a pet
weapons,
wolf, and
or a pet panther of some sort.
yeah.
We had a guy like that who all his characters were literally
Yeah.
based on Dritz, and
You
we're
made
like,
him too
come
cool.
on.
That's a problem.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna say. I mean, I love those Icewind Dale books. I thought all those characters were great.
Yeah.
But then even I got again. I'll call it the Dragonlance phenomena. Even I got tired of Dritz. Even those books were good. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I think we're all guilty of, especially in our youth, and the shorthand of archetypes is a powerful lure.
Oh yeah.
I've played Aragorn before. Like
And who didn't make a
thing
monk?
wasn't Aragorn, but it was just basically Aragorn.
Who didn't make a monk based on Qui-Gon Kane or Qui-Gon Qui-Chan Kane? What is his damn name?
From Kung Fu.
Yeah, Qui.
But yeah,
I can't remember now.
David Carradine.
David Carradine, yeah.
David Carradine. Kane was his last name.
Kane was his last name,
yeah. Young Grasshopper.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. So, yeah, I cannot throw a stone in the glass house of.
No, I don't think anybody can as a child.
No, I don't either. But it like anything else, though, it got out of hand.
Yes. Well, you outgrow it, or you want to play it your own way, or whatever. That's just the way it works.
So, for those looking to incorporate that's not using 5th edition stuff or even 4th edition, I didn't play a lot of 3rd edition, so I don't know if drows were playable in 3rd edition or not.
I don't know.
Or even in 3.5.
Yeah, I can't remember when they started.
It's a good article to help you integrate these races in 1st edition, because we're still at 1st edition at this point.
It's true.
So, but that's it. Jack, you got another one?
No, I'm bound and determined to get to ads though. If we're ready for that,
Rob, do you have another one?
One last one. 64. We're going to profiles. This one, it's important because it's Kim Mohan's profile. Kim.
There's 2 in this one, right?
Yeah, Kim and another guy named Pat Price. But Kim, he says he's only doing this interview to prove that he's male, because everybody assumes Kim Mohan is a girl.
I knew he was a male.
And once again, he's from Chicago, another Chicago guy. But he came from newspapers. He's not a gamer. He's a newspaper guy, which makes a lot more sense now. And
he was a sports writer.
And he edited Unearthed Arcana, which also explains a lot why Unearthed Arcana is a shit show. So, oh, Kim. We jest.
Oh, Kim.
Yeah, the other one's Pat Price, who's assistant editor for Dragon Magazine. So, once again, he's also responsible for all the stuff Jack takes umbrage with. The typesetting and page layout this is all his fault. So,
well, those on if you get to last week's episode, that Unearthed Arcana errata typesetting was horrible.
Oh, yeah. So that you got Pat Price to blame for that. So it's nice to have these profiles.
We're gonna fix your book with horrible typesetting replacements.
So it's nice to put faces to names of people that are causing trouble when we're doing these.
Even though these pictures are horrible, you don't really get a good look at them.
No, not really.
Yeah, if you were put them in a lineup, I couldn't tell you.
They're beardy 70s, 80s guys.
I will say that I didn't picture Kim Mohan with a beard.
He does. It seems. It's all I can really see.
I actually pictured him white-haired.
Oh no, I knew he was younger, but he probably got white hair eventually. Maybe that's why. Well, I think we saw an interview with him, and I think he did have white hair. That's why I think he's in the Eye of the Beholder one. So, that is my profile. So I'm done.
All right,
I have nothing more to say here.
One more, just to kind of stretch it out. If I can find the page number, because I didn't write it down.
We were almost going to be on time now.
38. This will be real quick because I don't have much to say about this. The World of Difference. It's basically different ways to interpret parallel worlds into your D&D game to prevent your players from being bored. And he talks about different parallel worlds and the different types. One is the making up your own and just populating it. And then there's one where magical variations, how to get to it via magical gates or whatever, a la Planescape. Even the one that I thought was really cool is that they even talk about doing borrowed game worlds and incorporating different role playing systems or into your game. Like he talks about incorporating Boot Hill or Gamma World.
I think everybody's done that at least once.
Yeah, he even mentions the gangbusters and vigilantes and villains and vigilantes and Rune Quest. I mean,
other company stuff. Yeah.
So, and lastly, he even talks about borrowing fiction worlds, so you could still, you could bring your guys to Middle Earth if you wanted to, in that sense. So
yeah.
My favorite part was of this was in the populating your world section. It said you can reverse the alignments, and I don't know if it was what he was intending, but immediately I had a Star Trek.
Probably
a flashback.
Everybody's got goatees.
Yeah, what's it called? When
the mirror.
Yeah, I'm not very well versed in Star Trek, so
yeah, it was.
Just remember Spock with the
goatee. It was the Empire, not the Federation.
Yeah.
Terran Empire.
And what's her name? Michelle Yeoh was the leader of it.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about original Star Trek. Stupid.
I'm talking about the reimagined
bullshit.
She is the Emperor.
Amethyst Gemworld. I think it's funny that they mentioned Amethyst Gemworld because come on. Who remembers that comic book?
Yeah. So it's actually a fairly lengthy article.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It goes on to page 55. I'm not scrolling down that far.
Yeah, no. So it's a lengthy read if you're looking to incorporate other worlds. Some good ideas, some ideas, just like anything else. But it is it's an interesting read.
Yep.
All right.
It's a guidebook if you want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fraser Sherman.
Mr. Fike. Yeah, we're gonna keep it the order because I know how much you don't like disorder. Being lawful.
Quite close. We're gonna go to page 31. We're gonna look down at the bottom here, and it's an ad for something called Fantastic Treasures. And it is volumes 1 and 2 of magic items. Tons and tons of magic items, which I assume are designed in such a way as to be,
agnostic.
Yeah, non-denominational. But it does say, I can't read it, of course, in the corner, something about Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So my assumption is it,
compatible.
Can be used with. It must say compatible. Yeah.
Geared towards.
This is Roll Aids. So Roll Aids is a famous company that does this kind of stuff, which is.
They're the other company.
Which that's where I was going to go with it. For those in the know, we're the other company. It's a fantastic little, hey, we know we're not the big guys, but we're the other one. And Roll Aids becomes pretty synonymous with
antacids.
Yes, for people who
actually need some Roll Aids.
Milk of magnesia, a little bit of the Pepto, some Tums, some Zantac.
I will say that this town where this other company is from,
Niles,
is maybe about 10 miles north of me.
There you go. Mayfair
actually, where we ate that chicken bowl when you came to visit is Niles.
It's Mayfair Games, which is they make Paranoia in all those games. So
yeah. Well, it says brought to you by Mayfair Games, so I don't know if it's made by Mayfair Games.
Well, I assume so. That's what brought to you by. Roll Aids is the brand, and Mayfair Games is the company.
Yeah.
Yes, and they do become, the kind of go-to for supplemental outside.
I would be very surprised if they're still not making things out of that term, Roll Aids. So.
You know what? That's something I hadn't thought of.
You can use our link below for Drive-Through RPG and go check and buy some. Use our affiliate link and buy some Roll Aids. I'm sure they're on.
Yes.
There.
You
corporate
swine. Yeah, there you go. Roll Aids. Is it my turn?
All right, it is your turn, Rob.
I'm gonna steal yours, Pat.
What?
Number 21.
God blessed.
I don't really want to talk about Star Trek. I just want to talk about the words recognition manuals because FASA,
Well,
after this, starts doing that for Battletech recognition manuals. So this is the proto Battletech recognition manual that is Star Trek.
Yes.
And Pat, you may take over now because I don't want to talk
this
about
is Well, I mean, this goes back down to if you listen to Mobile Arm Radio, everyone knows who knows me knows I love a good ship recognition, and I actually had this book. And now that I saw the ad again, it makes me want to go get it
No.
again because
I would never
well,
guess.
this one was cool because I mean, if you're a Star Trek fan,
It's
and
got
I
cutaways,
like-
right?
Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
and it has a ton of ships, and it includes all the Federation, all the Klingons, and all the Romulans, and even all the FASA and Starfleet battle variants that aren't canon with the show, but are I guess considered canon in the Star Trek universe.
Like the TIE
Yeah.
Fighter, the X-Wing, the Y-Wing.
Yes, and and the Eagle One is a good one, and I think Serenity might be in there too.
Even though it's not been invented for 30 years.
Yeah, but it includes all those different ships and the different Klingon like frigates and cutters and all that stuff too.
Yes.
So those of you that
guides
don't
are
know,
fun.
I think Jack is lost on these nautical terms. So frigates, a frigate is a smaller ship.
I forget's what you say when you bang your toe.
Yeah,
Frigate!
But yeah, it's if you like recognitions books, this is one of the better ones out there.
FASA.
And as we know, FASA makes a good recognition book if you're a BattleTech player.
Yeah, it's funny because they don't have the Star Trek license anymore. I forget who has it now. Oh, it's West End Games, right? Has it. So
I think so.
they're just doing this as like, hey, you can use it in your Star Trek games or
Well,
old
FASA
games.
no, FASA has Star Trek here because they have the role playing game.
No, West End Games says role playing game now. I think
No, now, but at this time
that's what I'm saying.
when this,
This
book
time,
is coming out.
yeah.
No,
at this time
it-
we saw an ad for it already. We saw an ad for somebody else is doing Star Trek, and I'm pretty sure it's West End Games.
I think they still have the role playing game.
No, we saw an ad, man. We talked about this already. I think your brain is falling through your ears.
I'm gonna look it up.
If I'm the one who's remembering things, we're in trouble.
Not only does no one care, but also, Pat, you've got a lot of searching to do because there's a Klingon ship recognition manual, the Federation ship recognition manual, the Romulan ship recognition manual,
I'm going to tell you that right now. I have those books already.
manual.
I already have those.
I thought you said you want them again.
No, I want this big one.
Oh, so you want to complete your collection?
Yes.
Anyways.
Okay. That's it for ads, I think, everyone.
Yep, I have no more ads.
So endeth episode 105, Dragon Magazine 105. Any parting shots you'd like to give to
Like, share, subscribe.
like, share, subscribe? Thank you for watching.
We're appreciating all the people who
for-
do comment. We do get
Yes,
comments
we
at
do.
every show, so we try to respond. If you get a weird response from a weird name, it's probably me. So I always forget afterwards. Jack, we know you don't respond because you hate the people. We know that, Jack.
No, unless I see either what my alignment is down there or the title of your John Turturro fanfic, just the title, I have no interest.
See,
That's it.
pretending to be chaotic when he's really lawful. Knowing
Yeah,
that
look
if you
at him
don't,
trying to pretend.
he's clenching his jaw, thinking, "Oh, they better put something down, or I'm going to lose my shit."
That's true.
All right. Well then, for the Dragon's Tome, I've been your host Chopper,
And I'm Jack.
And I've been Rob.
and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Thanks for all the fish. Clock us out. Clock us out.